Hey guys, Bearded Appliance Repair. I'm doing a different video with you guys today. We're gonna call it a day with the bearded one. I'm gonna take you through my day. I'm pretty much starting out with going to my first call all the way through my last call. We got 6 of them to do today. 3 in the morning, 3 in the afternoon. And the first one is going to be a dishwasher that's not draining. I'll have the links in the description below if you guys want to see specific segments. The second one is a dryer, a Samsung dryer that will not start. Third one is an ice machine that's not making ice. So this is an under-counter ice machine that's not making ice. Then we'll break for lunch. Then the first afternoon is gonna be another Samsung dryer that's not heating. More info on that one whenever we get to it. The fifth one is gonna be a defrost drain clog. And then the last one is going to be a noisy dryer. So if you guys want to see those specific instances of my day, I'll have them linked down below. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the day with the bearded one. Here we go. All right, we're working, guys. All right, trying something new today. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. Maybe a day in the life of an appliance repair technician. What we're doing today, we got 6 calls to do. Running a little bit behind. Left my GoPro at home, so it's a little bit before 8, so it's not terrible. I like to get to my first one at 8 o'clock, but if I don't get there till 8:30, that's not a big deal. But we are doing 6 calls today. First one's gonna be a GE dishwasher that is not draining. I hope it's gonna be they put in a new garbage disposal and it's just not, they didn't knock out that plug. That's what I hope it is, but we won't know until we get there. So I'm gonna call the customer up, plug her into my GPS here, and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to work. All right, customer is called. About 15 minutes out. That'll put me there close to 8:10. Yeah, that's what GPS is telling me. So yeah, dishwasher issues. I mean, it's all about the symptoms, guys. Whenever you're looking at appliances and stuff, you can have an idea of what you need to look for depending on what the customer tells you. So if the dishwasher is not draining, I mean, that's pretty much simple. Could be something in the drain pump, could be the pump itself. Pump could be bad, or could be clogged line or whatever. But yeah, that's what we're looking at first. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with these things, guys. I may show you what I do throughout the day, because sometimes I'm listening to music, I'm jamming, car karaoke, whatever. And then other times, you know, I'm just sitting in silence, like Branch from Trolls, you know, which is fine. I mean, it's really good to have silence every once in a while and just, you know, have thoughts while you're on the road, because you'll spend more time in your vehicle doing this type of work than you'll be anywhere else. I probably drive at least 2 hours a day minimum. Yesterday I was going all over the place. I was in Huntsville, no, I didn't go to Blunsville. Where did I start my day? I think I started at Trinity. But yeah, I went to like 3-4 different towns And I probably did 3 hours worth of driving. Half of my day sometimes is driving, depending on, you know, where they are. Today, it's a good day. Today, they're really close to each other. Our first two are in Hartselle, then I got one in Trinity, which ain't that far away. I even got one right down the road from the house. I wish that one was the last one. It's not, but it's okay. But anyways, we're headed to our first one now. We're gonna knock it out. We're gonna try to get home before 4. That's my goal. Be home before 4. I only want to work 8 to 4, 8 hours. That's my goal. I don't want to do more. Anyways. All right, yeah, this first one, it's not what you would expect when you come to a no drain situation on a dishwasher. I did first get here and tried testing out the drain pump with that new GE tool, and yeah, it wasn't coming on. So I was gonna get down here underneath the dishwasher and you know, find out why, you know, make sure it's got power and everything. But right when I took that kick plate off, I found that this thing had a leak underneath it. And whenever you have a leak and it's not draining, I mean, it could be anything. It could be a leak has shorted out the wiring to the drain pump, which caused the board to go out. Could be that the motor's locked up or something because it's corroded from the outside. I mean, could be a number of things. But here I am trying to run the drain pump, and you can see nothing's happening. Nothing's coming on. Also got my inspection mirror here, and we're going to try and find out where this leak is. I eventually do find it. I do not get a good view of it on camera, but if you know anything about these GE dishwashers, they have a diverter valve which connects to the motor, and that rubber hose that connects to the motor is, I mean, has a split hole in it. So with water in it now, it doesn't really leak, but when you put it under pressure, that's when it does leak. And yeah, so not what we were expecting. You never know what to expect whenever you're out here doing this type of work. You can assume, you can like, okay, I think I know what's going on, but you'll get out there and it'll be something completely different. Of course, it's not draining, but it's not draining because of a totally different reason. Whew. That one was a doozy. Okay. Complaint was the dishwasher was not draining. But whenever I get there, I mean, indeed it's not draining, but the reason it wasn't draining is because drain pump's not getting any power. Drain pump's not getting any power because there's a leak through the diverter, and the diverter on these dishwashers is just a little ball because they only work on one wash arm at a time, either the lower or the upper. And on this one, it took me a little bit to find it. I tried getting a good view, but it wasn't very good. I did get my inspection mirror out, and I saw where it was coming from. It was coming from the rubber piece where it connects to the motor. So yeah, that leak got into the wiring of the drain pump, and it shorted out the board. So the board's bad, diverter's bad. I don't like it whenever you run into one of these issues where a part's not getting power, so you have no idea if it's good or not. You can test it electrically, but you can't test it mechanically unless you take it apart, all that kind of stuff. But doing this type of work, you don't really have all that kind of time. And then again, with all that water down there, I don't really trust those pumps whenever it comes to corrosion. corrosion and things. So I pretty much quoted her a rebuild of it with a control board, drain pump, wash pump, and a diverter. And that should prevent any other potential issues in the future. Like, say we just replaced the control board and the diverter, then, I mean, who knows, a year down the road, she may have a motor grow out, and she'll, you know, have to pay all that labor and everything again. So she took that route. I did recommend actually getting a new one, but with her dishwasher is that black slate dishwasher stuff, so everything in her kitchen's that color, and she wants it all to match. So yeah, she's going ahead fixing it just so she don't have to redo her old kitchen, which I get it, but it is close to a $600 bill for everything. You can get a new dishwasher for that cost easy. Question is it the one you want? But yeah, gonna order those parts today. We are gonna knock that one out next week on Monday. Changing all that stuff on GE dishwashers is not my favorite thing to do, and I like to give myself a lot of time because it's not easy getting those rubber grommets back on the motors and everything. So I give myself plenty of time to do that kind of stuff, because I'll probably be there at least 2 hours putting all that stuff in. One thing I did want to mention, I did use this Smart HQ service tool on that dishwasher we just looked at, and it was actually nice, because I was down there testing the circulation pump and you know, doing the dishwasher, or trying to run the drain pump too, and it was nice not having to do that off the control panel. I know the service diagnostics very well on those dishwashers. I've seen them pretty regularly, and it's really easy to remember it all. But it was really nice not having to change tests, you know, to do whatever different tests I wanted to do. I could do that all from laying down, checking out that, trying to find that leak and everything. Otherwise, it would have been a little bit tougher to find that leak, I think, because I was trying to pinpoint that mirror. Excuse me. I was trying to pinpoint that mirror to where the leak source was, and with me just being able to tap it on my phone, I didn't have to, you know, get up, find the start button, hit the start button, find my way back down, and press start, and then get back down to, you know, see where the leak was. So that was pretty cool. I thought I wouldn't use it too much on dishwashers, but that was refreshing. I enjoyed using it on that one. But if you guys are interested in that device, there will be a link in the description below for it, smarthqservice.com. You go over there, let them know you would like to use it. Whenever that happens, or they got more information on how to get it and everything. So if you're interested, just find their website, you know, check it out. Anyways, on to the next one. We got a sensor Samsung dryer that will not start, and depending on if it's been looked at before, if it's got the updated idler pulley, the one with the bearing, if it's got the new bearing, it may be a broke belt, but if it's an older one where it doesn't have that updated pulley, I bet you that pulley's broke, and possibly we need a belt. But yeah, that's what we're going to next. We got a Samsung dryer that will not start. Another thing it could be is a thermal fuse, but those rarely go out on those Samsung dryers. So, yeah. gonna call the next one, let them know I'm headed their way, and it is 8:56. I got my next one scheduled between 9 and 11, and yeah, we're gonna get there and hopefully get it knocked out in one trip. All right, we are here, and indeed, I can tell by opening the dryer here and moving this that the belt is not on this drum. So either the belt has broke or the pulley has broke along with the belt, or the belt's just dangling there, you just can't feel it. But the customer threw a curveball at me, and she wanted us to look at our washer too. And if you're doing this type of work, customers will throw more stuff at you while you're there. They're like, oh, you're there, you can look at this too. Her issue with her washer is once it gets to the rinse cycle and goes into the drain and spin, it doesn't really spin all the water out. And the reason why it's doing it is because the solenoid in the rinse part of it won't shut off. You'll see here, I'm going to open this thing up, and if you have no power applied to this washer, that water should stop. If that water does not stop with no power applied, automatic water valve. So, yeah, definitely a water valve on this washer, and we got to tap into that dryer and make sure what we need on that is what I think is what we need. Alright guys, in the dryer, and this is the idler pulley, and it is gone, or most of it's gone. And here's the belt. The belt is broke. So this one here, Samsung dryers not starting. First thing I always look at is either the belt or this pulley here. I have a belt and I have a pulley. We're going to put them on. Real easy to swap out. I actually have a video on how to do it. I'll link that in the description below. But here, just to show you, if you move the dryer drum like that and you have some resistance, you know the belt's on there and the pulley's good. So that's a way to know if your pulley and belt's good, you know, before you even have to take this thing apart. But anyways, that's this one. I do got to order a water valve on that washer, but I did get this dryer fixed. Dryer's good to go. Number 2 done. It was that idler pulley. That idler pulley and the belt. A lot of times, actually I have a video on it. I may link it in the description below if you guys want to check out actually how to replace it. But if you guys run into a Samsung dryer and it's not starting, the things it could be is that idler pulley, belt, door switch, which is unlikely. I don't think I've ever replaced a door switch on one of these dryers. But number 3 would be the thermal fuse, and that rarely goes out too. More commonly, I carry those things on the truck. It's that pulley and the belt. But there was actually an issue with their washer too that I didn't know about. I have a lady answering the phone, so I don't know if she knew about it either, but I didn't see it in the notes. It just mentioned the washer, the dryer. But the washer issue is it would go to the rinse cycle and it wouldn't rinse and spin. They had an error code. I couldn't remember what it was. C4, I think is what they told me. But whenever she mentioned it to me, I checked suspension rods, because if it's not spinning the closeout, it can be a draining issue, can be suspension rod issue, or a water valve issue. And one of the first things I tested was the rinse and spin, where it fills up with that cold water. Whenever it fills up with that cold water and you remove power from it, whether it's unplugging it or turning it off, and the cold water keeps going, that is an automatic water valve. That water valve is sticking open. So they didn't have that part locally. I have to order it, so I'll come back on that one. But yeah, I was there close to an hour. Got there around 9:10, and it's 10:02 right now. So close to an hour. My next scheduled appointment is 10 to 2, so slightly behind. I like to show up to my calls at the initial scheduled appointment. I don't like showing up an hour. Like if it's set 10 to 12, I don't like showing up at 11. I'd rather show up at 10. That means it's going to be a better day. GE Monogram Ice Maker thinks something in the pump area is broken, based on one of my videos. So I'm going to somebody's house that has seen some of my YouTube videos, which is kind of weird. One weird thing about being a YouTuber, especially with me and my personality, I'm different than other folks, but when I run into people that I know that watch my videos, it's kind of embarrassing. A little funny, but it's still cool at the same time. Whenever I first initially started doing it, it was much weirder back then. Now it's a little bit better. Anyways, they're 10 minutes away, so I am going to give them a call and see if I can head on over. So yeah, looks like we're looking at a GE ice machine next. Bet you it's not made by GE. It's either going to be a Scotsman, probably going to be a Scotsman. We'll see. They might have a KitchenAid type ice maker. Oh, we're running to it. We'll see what's going on with it. Ice machine today. Alright, this is the ice machine, and it's more of a KitchenAid type ice machine where it's got the cutting grid and yeah, all that. But there was a handful of things wrong with this thing, guys. There's a lot of stuff going on with it. It was built in 2004, so what is that, 17, 18 years old, something like that. Thought it was initially a drain issue, but it ended up having a lot more issues than I thought it was going to have. So yeah, this was just a service call, one and done. They're going to get themselves a new one. Number 3, that ice machine. Call's done. I'm not going to be repairing that one. This thing was built in 2004. So it's 17 going on 18 years old. Initially I was thinking, oh, they just got a clogged drain, because whenever it would fill up with water, it does that overfill, and you know, it was just collecting in the ice container down there. And I got the steamer out, steamed out the clog and fixed that. So I was thinking, oh, okay, it's gonna be an easy one. We're just gonna clear this drain and they'll be good to go. Because if you think about it, if you have a clogged drain and this thing is just holding that water and it drops ice in it, it's gonna be pretty much like a cooler. If you drop ice in a cooler with water in it, that ice is gonna turn to water, I mean, before you know it, before the day's over with. And this thing won't be fast enough to, you know, dump a whole bag in a whole cooler. But anyways, if you have standing water in your ice machine, it is not going to hold that ice. It's just going to turn it to water. That's what it's going to do. So thought that was it initially. Turned out to be, it had many things going on. When I was talking to the customer, he was mentioning that there was a thin sheet of ice on it, and that there's a sign that it wasn't cooling well. And whenever I was looking at it, I did notice it, because if you take all the water out of the reservoir and you just let it drop, evaporator is supposed to have a nice little frost pattern on it. And I mean, there's a little bit there, but it really wasn't freezing like it normally does. Just imagine, you know, those old movies where the kids stick their tongue to a pole and the tongue gets stuck there. That's what it's supposed to pretty much turn into whenever there's no water on it. So if you have like a wet finger and you touch it, your finger should pretty much freeze to it. And it wasn't doing that at all, or you weren't getting that frost pattern like it was supposed to. So I knew I had a cooling issue, and also the cutting grid wasn't heating up like it was supposed to. The connection that goes up to the control board, it's all black. So when you have a loose connection, that heat produces, you know, that black metal, and it just becomes a terrible connection. So I mean, I guess you could like hardwire it in and make it work that way, but the right way to do it would be get a new control board and a new connection to put it inside the control board. So that right there, fixing that'd be a control board and another cutting grid. That there is probably $400 by itself. Then you got the cooling issue on top of that. Could be Freon leak, which most of the time it's in the evaporator. That evaporator is $600, so 400 plus 600, that's $1,000. And there's another issue: cutting grid, cooling. Oh, the drain was fixed. And that's just the most common things. You're looking at $1,000 just in parts, doesn't include any labor. So whenever it comes to that kind of stuff, people tend to get new ones. If something's over $1,000, especially in just parts, they're like, okay, time to get a new one. They did have trouble looking for one. Place I used to work for before I went out on my own, they had 2 in stock. So push them onto them, and they'll probably be getting a new one instead of waiting 3 months to get another one. So that's cool. I was able to get them, you know, point them in the right direction to getting a new one. But yeah, it's lunchtime. Number 3's done. I'm only going back. That first one. I don't remember. I don't remember what I did this morning. I don't remember till I do paperwork at the end of the day. But all I can tell you, it's lunchtime. Time to go get something to eat. All right. On to the next one. It is 11:30, and I'm headed to my 12 o'clock appointment. This one, I've seen this dryer too many times. I've probably put an element on it 3 different times. Her element keeps going out. I will say they are the cheaper elements, so what I am putting in today is the Samsung one, but they're nearly double the price of the aftermarket ones. And I want to say my price off of Marcone, shoot, I don't know, maybe 150, I'm thinking. Which, that's just god awful. I didn't want to charge her for it. I told her I was going to get it to her at no cost, but her and her husband, they're making me charge her. Which you have some of those customers. They won't let you do anything for nothing. even if they've already given you a few $100s, which is very nice of them. I did what I could to not let her pay, but you know some of those people. Anyways, so going out there to put on a whole element, that's the whole thing, you know, with the whole casing, the fuses, and the element are all in one. It's going to be super easy to put in and out. I already have a couple videos on them, so I probably won't show you guys any of that. But yeah, if you guys have issues with these aftermarket parts, let me know. I want to know. Do you guys only do OEM or whatever? I typically do OEM parts, especially for like water valves. Dry repair kits, those aftermarket ones suck. If you use those, you're going to have to get some sandpaper out, sand down those posts. And yeah, I'm not all about that. I mean, you can do it. I mean, it don't save them much money, maybe like 10 bucks. Not much at all. But yeah, let me know what you guys use. Or even if you guys work on Samsungs, or if you guys use the OEM parts and you still have issues with it. I won't know probably for another year or so. She'll probably call me if she has issues with it, and I mean, I'll probably do another one of these that day if she has, you know, another heating element go out, because this is everything. I mean, if you're having heating issues, likely it's one of these things on the element, whether it's the element, high limit, or that other one that I forget the name of. But yeah, putting in a new element on this next one, and yeah, then another dryer after that. It's a dryer full day. Well, it's one of those calls where nobody's home and they're not answering their phone. That's a bad thing about getting people running. They forget the next appointment. Because the story, they were scheduled for Wednesday before Thanksgiving, and I ordered the part, and it didn't come in until Wednesday afternoon, and they were scheduled at like 9 o'clock. And I mean, they're not the furthest away from the house, but they're not the closest either. So I just took out another one of those aftermarket ones and put it in, get them running over the long weekend. So we took off Thursday and Friday along with the weekend, and didn't get back to work until Monday. But yeah, I reckon they just forgot about it. And that happens from time to time. I mean, I don't really get mad at it. With me doing 6 calls a day now, it don't hurt my feelings one bit. This just means I'm gonna get home before 4. And I'm happy with that. I will trade time for money as much as I possibly can. Meaning, I want more time for myself instead of money. As long as I can pay my bills and, you know, go on vacations every once in a while. You know, even little camping trips or something. That's all I truly care about. That and being able to retire at a decent age. But hopefully that'll come with investments and stuff that I'm doing. You know, building up some of that wealth to hopefully build up enough to be able to retire on. Maybe one day. We'll see. Anyways, yeah. Missed the appointment on this one. I'm gonna go ahead and call the next one. See if she'll let me come over a little bit early. What is it now? It's 12 o'clock. So it might be a little 40 minutes early or so. And if that won't work, I'll try the next one. And see if my 2 o'clock can be seen earlier today. so far? Okay, my 2 o'clock appointment is gonna let me come by early. 12:07, I'll be there around 12:30. And yeah, doing this type of work, you won't make every appointment. Sometimes it's your fault. Sometimes it's the customer's fault. Sometimes crap happens. I mean, it's unavoidable for the most part. So yeah, going to my 12 o'clock appointment, or my 2 o'clock appointment now, and I'll make my 1 o'clock appointment later. I'll probably get there around 1:30, depending on how things go at this next one. But that's perfect, because that's the call that's right down the road from my house. So I'm okay with that. And I mean, that customer, she didn't answer, so she probably needs that time slot because she's working or something. So I'm good with that too. Anyways, this is a day in the life of an appliance repairman. You gotta improvise and overcome. Alright, yeah, what we're doing on this one, it's a older side-by-side that's leaking, and all it is it's a defrost drain. Defrost drain's clogged. Sometimes you gotta get behind it, blow it out. Occasionally that steamer wheel that I use gets it out pretty good. Most of the time it does, but occasionally that stuff's so blocked up in there that it doesn't do any good. You actually gotta take the tube off and clean it out. But it shouldn't be too bad of a job. I'll say that defrost drain problem is probably the most common job we do. I mean, people are like, oh man, my refrigerator's leaking. There goes my floor. Which I get it. I mean, but a lot of people think it's coming from the ice maker or water valves or something, and a lot of times it's a defrost drain. But yeah, that's what we're gonna go knock out. We'll be there in the next 15 minutes. It is 12:11 right now, so I should be there around 12:25. We're going to go. So I might get lucky and be home by 2:30. We'll see. But yeah, on to the next one. Alright, defrost drain is clear. Not much to them. If you see ice build up, defrost drain is clear. There's not much to them. If you see ice build up in the freezer at the bottom, likely that's the issue. Defrost drain problems, like I was saying before, it's one of the more common issues that we run into. But yeah, I didn't get any videos of anything there. If you guys are technicians and watching this, you've seen it a million times. But this next one is the 1 o'clock. I do gotta stop and get some gas. I had a full tank yesterday, and my gas light just came on the way to that last call there. So I'm gonna stop and get some gas and then go to my last one for the day. It's 1:11, and with my extra time today, I'm probably gonna go get an oil change. Running your own business, I mean, you gotta take care of your own stuff. You gotta maintain it, get tires, put gas in it, tires rotated, whatever it may be, whatever your service truck needs. Since I got this truck, I got it at 160,000 miles. I've already put a new set of tires on it. Got 2 new motor mounts put in it. I should probably get the brakes looked at and stuff too. I mean, they still work, but wouldn't be a bad idea just to redo all that, you know, just to make sure everything's good to go on this thing. There is a little oil leak on it, and I do need to get my sway bar links changed out. And I met a guy yesterday, one of my customers. He does some vehicle work on the side. I'm probably going to get him to do it for me during Christmas break. But yeah, as a business owner, there's expenses you got. Like, I take payment whenever I'm done with my jobs, and I think I've taken in maybe $500 today. I don't know if that's the right number, but if you factor in, you know, the cost of parts, because I'm gonna have a huge order of parts today. I got those 4 parts on that dishwasher. She's fixing that. Got that water valve for that Samsung washer, and there's something else. Where's that at? That might be it. I got them all on my my list to order off of Marcone. It's nice if you can get all your parts in one place at Marcone. They only charge you 1 shipping charge, so I like to do my ordering once a day, and I like to do it around 2 o'clock. If I do it closer to 3 or 4 o'clock, the shipping is delayed an additional day, so I like to try to do it before 2 o'clock to make sure those orders get out that same day. And a lot of times, I mean, I get parts the next day, depending on where the part is. Like if it's coming from Louisville, Kentucky, I get that part the next day. But I gotta order before like 2 o'clock to be safe, but I know I've ordered stuff from at 4 o'clock before, or 3:30, and I still got it the next day. But some days, I mean, it just takes an extra day. It drives me nuts sometimes. Part issues. That's another thing you'll run into if you're an appliance repair technician. You guys watching this that have been doing this a long time, bad parts out of the box drive you nuts. Getting parts shipped to you that's not the right part inside the box will drive you nuts. Parts not showing up on time. For me, at my house, which I'm more unique because I run my company out of my house. This is my office, my truck. My truck is my office. And when I have my dogs out, because we live out in the county, so we can let our dogs run loose, and they do pretty good. They stay in the yard for the most part. We got 2.5 acres, and a lot of the delivery guys, they're scared to death of the dogs. The FedEx guy, he's great. He's a dog-loving kind of guy, and I think you can tell. He gives them treats and stuff, and yeah, some people, once they see those dogs, are like, nope, ain't happening. We got a German Shepherd and an Australian Shepherd. They're well, the German Shepherd, she's 90 pounds, and she's intimidating, especially her bark. Now, a lot of people are afraid of dogs, but doing this kind of work, you see dogs all day long. I've been to 4 places today. I'm going to my 6th, and 2 of them, nope, 3 of them had pets. 3 of them had dogs. It's all my dogs. I love dogs. Breaks my heart when dogs don't let me pet them. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up. This is gonna be a long video, so I hope I'm entertaining. Give me a like, subscribe. $75. It wouldn't fill my truck up. Got me 25 gallons. Yeah, 25.008. So pretty much 25 gallons for $75. This is, I want to say it's a 26 gallon tank. So I was on my last gallon of gas. That's how I always do it. Gas light comes on. Okay, time to get gas. But yeah, on to my next one. It's right down the road. I'll be here in just a minute or two. Okay. This one here, their dryer was making a noise. I've been out here already, working on their other dryer. They got a gas dryer and an electric dryer. They disconnected their gas dryer and put in an electric dryer because their gas dryer was making noise. So I told them, likely the issue is in the rollers and idler pulley. That's usually where noises come from. Occasionally it's something else. But when, God damn it. But whenever she swapped those out herself and tried hooking it up to run it, she was still getting a squeal. So I come out, you know, just double check some things, and I mean, everything sounded good to me whenever I was messing with it. Rollers were good. Whenever I was turning it, I didn't hear any squeals. So I put everything back together and I ran it, and a sock came out the back. So it looks like probably the blower got stuck, and the squeal was probably coming off the motor, spinning on the belt, and that's probably what the squeal, where the squeal was coming from. But she wanted me to swap out her electric dryer with her gas dryer, and I was like, okay, no trouble. But whenever I got over there to do it, I noticed whenever they took the gas line off of where the plumbing comes in, they took the compression fitting off with the hose. So if you guys know gas lines, they got compression fittings where you don't need any pipe dope or anything, you know, to make sure it seals right. But you do need pipe dope on the fitting that connects to the cast iron pipe that's threaded. And that's what they took off. They took off the compression fitting male end. The female end is what the hose has. So they took off the male and the female compression fittings off. So I don't have any pipe dope. And one thing I don't do is plumbing work for people. I will do electrical work occasionally. You know, where it's changing fuses or taking the cover off the circuit breaker just to see if there's power there. And sometimes I'll, you know, rework. I won't change out any components, but I will tighten up connections on like dryers or whatever where they may be loose and, you know, they cause burning. So I may rework some of that. What I don't do is plumbing. Don't do it. Electrical work, as long as you know what you're doing, you can prevent fires. I guess with plumbing and stuff too, but that's one thing. Leaks, I believe, this is my opinion, I believe water leaks are easier to have than fires in your house. And if I do any kind of plumbing work wrong, I don't think my insurance covers that because I'm not licensed. And that comes into play too whenever you're talking about gas. Gas, that's plumbing. You got to be certified in certain areas. And I want to say in Alabama, you got to be certified to do that kind of plumbing. And I'm not certified to do any of that. So I don't do any plumbing. The only thing I'll do, maybe, is electrical work, tightening up some connections, and that's it. So that's a tip for you. Don't do any plumbing work unless you're qualified. You might have done it a million times, but if you're not licensed, you know, taking any tests, you're journeyman or master plumber, whatever, if you don't have any of those certifications, your insurance that you should have on your business, if you know you have one, insurance won't cover it. They won't. So don't do it. That's what I ran into. So I couldn't finish that up. I think they're gonna do it themselves, which out of my hands. If they cause a leak or something, cause a fire, it's on them. But yeah, that's something I don't do. I don't do any plumbing. Anyways, that's it. That's my day. It is 1:51. Oh, and by the way, I didn't charge her. I told her I would have charged her if I could finish it up, but shoot, I was there 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and I do that for customers, especially if they're returning customers. I know they'll call me again next time they have an issue, so I didn't charge her anything for today. I like doing that. It makes people's day, especially around the holidays. Thanksgiving was last week. Christmas is in a few weeks. I'm in a giving mood today. But yeah, day's over. It's 1:51. I got a little bit of time. I'm gonna go give my truck a bath, clean it out, go get my oil changed, and maybe I'll have enough time to pick up the kids. I'm gonna take you through Mr. Car Wash. Alright, truck is washed. Now it's time to clean this sucker down. Truck is clean. Gonna go get the oil changed. Probably whenever I'm getting my oil changed, I always do this at the end of the day. I do my paperwork at the end of the day. And for me, and how I'm set up is I have my sister-in-law answering phone calls for me. We got a little deal set up where she helps me out, and she also watches kids during the day, so she's kind of got two jobs going on, and she's answering my phone calls, and you know, I'm doing all the work. So I used to do 4, because trying to do 6 calls a day and tackle the phones is challenging. And if you can do that, more power to you. But it was really hard for me. So I was like, I need some help. And yeah, she's helping me out. And I use this software to schedule my phone calls, and her and I can both see it. She schedules stuff for me, and then I get to see what she does, and then whenever I need to do reschedule, I put that on there and she can see it. It's not the greatest software out there. It works for us, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it, but the scheduling software runs me around $50 a month. And it's beautiful because it's not paper. I mean, there's days whenever I ran a paper schedule that I would leave it at the house, and I'm like, oh crap, I don't know what I'm doing today. So having it on my phone's great, and then being able to do it online for her and I both scheduling throughout the day, that's great. And the third thing that's great is it syncs with QuickBooks dang near flawlessly. There's a little bit of tidbits that I'd like to change, but for doing taxes and everything, guys, I use QuickBooks as an accounting software. So every ticket I do goes in the QuickBooks. It's got, you know, the money that comes in, all the expenses and stuff, goes all through QuickBooks. So that's how I pretty much track all that stuff. If you're doing all that manually, you know, doing paper receipts and saving all your receipts for your expenses and stuff, that's a lot of work adding that up at the end of the month or the end of the year, however long you do it. In Alabama, we pay sales tax to the state every single month. So every part we sell, we got to track that, and we got to pay the taxes on it each month. That, and then we got quarterly taxes that we got to do quarterly. And my QuickBooks software, it tracks all that for me, which is great. If you do that manually, actually, I'm curious, for you guys who do run your own businesses, how do you track all your expenses and everything? Do you do it the old-fashioned way? Do you do it electronically like I do? I'm just curious. How y'all do it? I do it electronically, and it's saved me a lot of time. I can see you guys working. If you guys do it every day and keep up with it, you guys probably, you know, work an extra hour a day. For me, I can probably get my paperwork done in at the most 30 minutes. Sometimes I don't do it same day. Like for yesterday, I had a rough day. I didn't get home till 5:30. So I was like, I'll do paperwork tomorrow. So I got to do yesterday's paperwork and today's paperwork. And I'll also make a deposit at the end of the day at the bank. I do it at the ATM. I like taking checks. I take checks, I take cards, I take cash. I'll even take Bitcoin. Nobody's paid me in Bitcoin yet. But I'd take it if somebody wanted to pay me in Bitcoin. But yeah, and then pretty much when I do my deposit at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. And typically on a typical day, I'm usually done with the actual labor between 3 and 3:30. And then I do my paperwork. I'm usually parked right outside the ATM, right outside the bank. I do my paperwork, sync it all to QuickBooks, make all the payments, and then deposit what I need to deposit. And that's typically how I do things. And I'm usually done around 4. I'll probably get home between 4 and 4:30, sometimes 5. I'd love to get home at 4 every day, but that just doesn't work all the time. But today, I think it's going to happen. I'm going to get the oil change done, do my paperwork at the same time the oil change is getting done. So that should be done by the time that's done. Then I'll go make my deposit, go get the kids, and then that's the day. And yeah, I'll let you know when it's all done. When it's all done, I'll update it.
Hello, sir.
Yep.
Like with that, the dish goes in the hood, I fill up the wash, throw it in there, and grease for your pipe. Everything else looks good. Get the other oil filter all down there. Get some oil on the engine, right?
Perfect.
Get it in 530 pulls and thick, and also get your sticker so you don't return the light.
Sounds good.
That's all 78.44 today, sir.
Appreciate you, man.
bag. I got a few good old things on it, but it's good. Just cut back, sir.
Thank you.
Luckily, you can see that before. You all clear all, stand by safety. Out. Now you clear all, okay? All right, sir. There's your receipt right there. You good to go?
Thank you very much.
No problem, but we'll see you.
Oil change done. Got a little bit of paperwork to do. So it might be taking me 30 minutes today. I got all the invoices. Done. I'm just putting all the paid information in on QuickBooks for who's paid, how they paid, that good stuff. And yeah, once that's done, my day's done. It's 2:43. Got some stuff done today. Stuff I don't have to do later. Spam call. I think this is gonna be a good video. New oil does a truck good. Paperwork's done. Expenses are categorized. And time to make the deposit. Can't forget to order parts. Heck yes. Everything's coming from Louisville, so the 5 parts I'm ordering, 1 shipping charge. Beautiful thing. Even though I'm dropping $300 on parts. Dang. 300 in parts today. It's another expense if I didn't mention earlier. Parts. But yeah, my day is officially done. I don't have to do anything else the rest of the day. So, yeah, it is 2:54. We did 5 calls. One wasn't home, so we were gonna do 6, but 1 was at home. Got the oil changed in the truck. Got the truck cleaned and washed. Got it vacuumed out. I still got some parts I need to get rid of. I'll do that whenever our trash runs. Our extra stuff, I usually just put it in our trash can at the house. Get rid of it that way. What else do we do? Oh yeah, got an oil change. Got the oil changed. Did all the paperwork. Got everything deposited. Everything's recorded. One of those steps till I gotta pay taxes at the end of this month. Oh, and I transfer my taxes over to my tax account every 2 weeks. I pay myself once a week. I pay myself on Fridays. I send taxes over on the 1st and then the 16th. So the 1st through the 15th, I calculate, my estimated taxes, and then I transfer that over to my tax account, and then I do it again from the 16th to the 30th, or the 16th to the end of the month. So 1st to 15th, 16th to the end of the month, whether it's the 30th, 31st, or 28th, or 29th, depending on the month. And yeah, that's it. That's the day in the life of the bearded one, guys. This is a typical day for me. Go to work. One thing I didn't do today that I do sometimes is go get some parts, from the parts store here in town. But they didn't have the parts in town today, so I didn't. It would have been nice to have that water valve off that washing machine. I could have knocked them out 100% today. But yeah, that's it. Day's done. I'm trying to get this up in the next couple days.